Are ideas our most powerful means of staving off corruption? Are ideas what corruption fears most? It might be reasonable to think that, following the recent silencing of the President of the United States along with his ongoing inquiry into vote validity, and through it, the validity of the idea that state serves the public, and not the other way around, as the name civil servants would suggest. But Trump has had a lot of ideas that his opposition did not approve of, that were not opposed to the degree that vote validity was. Considering this, it might be more accurate to claim that certain ideas are what corruption fears most. This tactic of cancelling certain ideas has been utilised by corruption throughout all of history to enable the attack and eradication of witches, Gnostics, philosophers, and cultures that pose a threat in the pathway they make accessible to view the world differently and therefore act or live within it differently. The silencing of the president of what is supposedly the free world is only the latest example of witch hunts taking place. And I'm not comparing Trump to witches in the sense that his inquiries resemble witchcraft. To my knowledge, Trump is not in the habit of child sacrifice. But his inquiries or ideas are similar in the sense that they too are being targeted by those with the greatest means to incite a hunt of them. What idea are we talking about? The idea of corruption in the highest levels of our establishments, and the idea of foreign interference in the election also. Therefore, foreign interference or control of our governance and country. The idea was deemed powerful or dangerous enough to necessitate openly silencing the president of the supposed democratic and free world. Corruption must then control foremost with ideas. Any invasively idea-propagating system that is also quite select about which ideas are and are not allowed to be propagated suggests something about how they themselves might control that which they clearly display is of utmost importance to control: ideas. And it suggests something interesting about information or ideas that are not presented. Because if they have the ability to silence an idea whenever they fancy, and yes, if they can do it to the president, then they can even do it to the rest of us, then the only ideas that are there for two reasons. They have the ability to silence the idea or prevent others from seeing it's there, or the idea can be twisted to the advantage of corruption or works to their advantage outright. If this wasn't the case, it would be gone, because as we've seen, they can make any idea spoken by anybody disappear when they want to. If any idea is there, and furthermore broadly accessible or propagated, it is because they want you to see or believe it. If it is not there, or broadly accepted or propagated, then likely this is because they cannot allow you to believe or see it. This might make a person reasonably wonder what exactly an ideas-based society want you to believe when rapists, viruses, convicted scumbags, and the constant public destruction of ideas, typically weak ideas and easy to defeat ideas if allowed into the public eye, along with the destruction of the people that hold those ideas, it makes me wonder what we're supposed to believe when things like this are granted precedence over a sincere inquiry by what is supposedly our elected president into the validity of the public vote within what is supposedly a democratic system.